They're thrilling, they're exhilarating, and they're definitely not for the faint of heart. Just imagine being strapped into your seat as you slowly ascend the highest peak until all of a sudden gravity sends you ripping down at lightning speed without warning. Love them or hate them, you can't deny that roller coasters are the highlight of any theme park. But hold your horses, adrenaline junkies, because here are 10 banned roller coasters you can't ride anymore. What's up, Facnatics? This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Stay in the loop for our number one pick because it will make your head spin. Buckle up and let's roll! Number 10, Starjet. In 2002, this steel roller coaster was opened to the public at the Casino Pier in New Jersey, replacing the Jetstar, which previously stood in its location. The Starjet had a good 10-year run as one of the most sought-after thrill rides until Hurricane Sandy wreaked havoc on the New Jersey coastline in October of 2012.
When Superstorm Sandy slammed ashore last October, more than 100 miles of New Jersey's coastline bore the brunt of it.
And partially destroyed the boardwalk, hurtling the Starjet into the Atlantic Ocean. Images of the devastated roller coaster made the rounds of news coverage, and the Starjet inadvertently became a symbol of Hurricane Sandy's aftermath. This even led a 38-year-old man named Christopher Angelo to climb the remnants of the roller coaster in January of 2013 and unfurl an American flag in the hopes of raising awareness towards relief efforts.
The roller coaster needed a flag.
But good news, thrill seekers, because in 2017, a brand new roller coaster named Hydrus was opened where the Starjet once stood. It's bigger, it's badder, and hopefully more disaster-proof. Keep watching because our number one entry will leave you huffing and puffing. Number 9, Son of Beast. It was meant to be a sequel to the popular Beast roller coaster at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. Unfortunately, the son didn't get to outlive the father in this case. When it opened its cars to the public on April 28, 2000, the Son of Beast was considered the first and only wooden roller coaster in the world that boasted of a vertical loop and the second wooden hypercoaster to feature an inversion. It also set world records for being the tallest and fastest wooden roller coaster on the planet. Daddy Beast must have been so proud. However, in July of 2006, a non-fatal incident occurred which led to 27 people getting head and neck injuries. Inspections revealed that the accident was caused by a crack in the wooden track. It was the beginning of a downward spiral for the Son of Beast. In June 2009, a woman blamed the coaster for her head injury, which eventually sent her to the ICU. She said a blood vessel in her brain ruptured 2 weeks after riding the Son of Beast. Although results of the investigation were inconclusive, the park still decided to bring the curtain down on the infamous ride permanently. Number 8, Mantis. This stand-up scream machine was supposed to be called Banshee, a mythical wailing ghost from Irish folklore described as a female spirit warning about an impending family death. Good thing the owners of the Cedar Point theme park in Ohio scrapped the idea, because who would want to ride something that's named so ominously? On May 11, 1996, the Mantis made its debut and was soon hailed as the fastest, tallest, and steepest stand-up roller coaster in the 90s. During its 18-year run, the Mantis gave more than 22 million rides and countless backaches due to its uncomfortable layout. Sadly, in 2014, Cedar Point announced that the Mantis is squashed for good, and the park transformed it into a floorless sit-down coaster instead, which they called, wait for it, Rougarou, after a mythical French werewolf-like creature. They do have a thing for European legends, don't they? Number 7, Missile. This high-adrenaline ride first shot to fame when it opened in 1988 as the Coca-Cola Roller at the Glasgow Garden Festival in Scotland. That same year, it was sold to the American Adventure theme park in Derbyshire, where it was baptized as the Missile. Ooh, explosive! The Missile was an exhilarating boomerang ride where riders were taken backwards up a hill only to be released at top speed, sending them through a cobra roll, a vertical loop, all the way to a second hill. And then they get swept away in the opposite direction. However, in 2005, the Missile was closed down and was supposed to be relocated to Pleasurewood Hills in Suffolk. Due to planning problems, the extreme ride didn't reopen until 2 years later. When it did, it took on the new name Wipeout and was given a surfer-style makeover. I don't know about you, but Missile sounds way sexier.
Get out. Anybody else have a problem with that?
Number 6. Corkscrew. Champagne bottles were probably popped when Corkscrew opened its trains to the public in April of 1980 in Staffordshire, England. It was the toast of the theme park world for being the first double inverting coaster in the UK that fans were willing to wait in line for 6 to 9 hours just to experience the serious adrenaline rush that the ride promised. The Alton Towers theme park, where the coaster was located, even had to close early on several occasions just to control the influx of adventurous tourists. But just like the fate of any celebrity, Corkscrew's fame was eventually overshadowed in 2005 when another ride called Rita was launched in the theme park. Customers started to complain of the Corkscrew's outdated design and uncomfortable riding experience. The OG Scream Machine struggled to find a new audience in the modern world, and in October 2008, after 28 years of operation, the Corkscrew finally bid adieu to make way for another attraction. Such a tragic fate for the has-been high roller. Number 5. Fujin Raijin II. When the Expoland Park in Osaka, Japan opened in 1980, it quickly became one of the hottest destinations for tourists and adventure seekers. For more than 30 years, the park enjoyed a roaring success thanks to its 8 roller coasters and several other attractions, shops, and restaurants. But in 2007, tragedy struck the adrenaline paradise when one of its main attractions, the Fujin Raijin II, took a fatal turn. On May 5 of that year, one of its 6 cars got derailed, resulting in a freak accident that injured 18 passengers and killed a 19-year-old woman named Yoshino Kokowara. After the accident, Expoland tried to reopen its doors, but attendance was so dismal that after 2 years, it was eventually forced to close for good. Today, the abandoned theme park attracts a different set of patrons. Photographers who are fascinated with this eerily peaceful wasteland that used to be filled with deafening screams and laughter. Number 4. The Hurricane. Once dubbed as the largest wooden roller coaster in Florida, the Hurricane in Dania Beach drew in legions of fans when it started rolling in November of 1996. It stood proud at 3,200 feet long and 100 feet high, much to the excitement of courageous souls who dared to conquer its towering terror. In fact, in 2009, a local magician named Avi Freer even pulled off a daredevil stunt while riding the Hurricane. While blindfolded, shackled, and zipped in a straitjacket, Freer attempted to escape before the 2-minute roller coaster ride was up. Unfortunately, the Hurricane slowly lost steam during its 15-year run, and it failed to roll with the times. In 2011, it ceased its operations to make way for a shopping and entertainment center to be named Dania Point. Number 3. Sea Viper. If you've ever been to the SeaWorld Park in Queensland, Australia, chances are you've screamed your eyeballs out while riding the triple-looped Sea Viper, the first of its kind in the entire country. It was a refurbished version of the Corkscrew roller coaster, which opened at SeaWorld in 1982, ditching the white paint for a more eye-popping orange and installing a new train that promised passengers a new ride experience. When Sea Viper welcomed thrill seekers in 2010, it gave the park a much-needed boost. However, when it was closed for maintenance in early 2014, it didn't reopen for some strange reason. When the Sea Viper's 600-meter track was destroyed and removed from the park, a piece of Gold Coast history went with it. Number 2. The Hercules. At a height of 23 meters and a track length of 1,219 meters, you'd think that the Hercules would never show any signs of weakness. This thrill ride, located in Allentown, Pennsylvania, also took advantage of the hill it was built on, which gave it a 46-meter drop that allowed riders to rush down at speeds of over 100 kilometers per hour. But just 5 years after it opened in 1989, the Hercules already showed signs of wear and tear and had to undergo several modifications to give passengers a smoother ride. Soon enough, the park just grew tired of all the maintenance and decided to stop the coaster dead in its tracks in September of 2003. Before we go to our number one pick, do us a solid and make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app settings. That was like a roller coaster going fast. Number 1, the Big Bad Wolf. This coaster ride, with its sleek red track and suspended black cars, had become one of the highlights at Busch Gardens in Virginia. Riders would be steered through a Bavarian-style village, narrowly missing buildings before finally taking a 100-foot drop down to the park's makeshift Rhine River. But in September of 2009, the park announced that the 25th year of the Big Bad Wolf would be its last. Park officials said it had reached the end of its service life and would need to be replaced. While beloved by many, the ride was extremely high maintenance, so part of the coaster was repurposed to build a new and improved one, which they called Verbolten. So, which of these attractions made your head spin? Let us know in the comments section below. Take home any of our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description, and while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? Hungry for more adventure? Then don't miss our countdown of the 15 most incredible recent discoveries. Till then, stay fast and furious, Factnatics, and see you in the next video.